Thanks for staying with us. Our hot topic for today is a decision that's stirring serious controversy across Nigeria. The Federal Executive Council has just approved life salaries for retired senior officers of the Interior Ministry. Some say it is well-deserved, a way to reward decades of public service, boost morale in the civil service, and guarantee financial security for those who gave their lives to serve in the country. But not everyone is clapping. Critics argue that this is reckless and unfair, especially in a country battling debt, mass unemployment, and pensioners who can barely survive. Many are asking, why should a select few enjoy lifelong salaries when millions of workers and retirees live on peanuts or even go months without pay? To join the conversation, call us on 02016352013 or 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourView on TVC. And you can stream live on YouTube as well at TVC Entertainment. Ladies, when I heard this, I mean, we heard this, I think it was last week, and we wanted to discuss this so bad, especially Nima. She has been scratching to discuss this, you know. But, you know, it affects all of us. And for me, the first question is about fairness. You know, first of all, the Interior Ministry. So we're talking customs, we're talking prisons, what else? Immigration. So that's the ministry that we're speaking of. So and they are talking also senior officials. So by the time you're done, if you get to the peak of your career in this ministry, you are allowed, you'll be paid salaries for life. So for me, the fairness, is this fair?
Hey God, everything is important, but not everything should be carried out.
Okay.
I just, you know, sort of took it out of the scriptures, but in my own words, right? Some things, you hear them, they sound good. The people in the ministry will feel, finally, Nigeria has remembered us. This is amazing. So all my hard work now, I know that I'll retire into something and all of that. But then they forget that we're in a country that we're struggling to survive economically. And that is based on the statistics that we have. We have inflation, though inflation is reducing now in paper, I've not seen it reflect in my yam and gari and rice. So till I see inflation reflect in my yam, gari and rice on the streets, I will understand that inflation is coming down. So in paper, it has reduced to like 21% from 30 something, but it's not reflecting yet in the lives of everyday Nigerians. So we are under harsh economic realities. And we are seeing that many people who have served the nation are still owed their pensions in different ministries. So you have not cleared the pensions of people who have served for years. We've seen elderly men who will die, slump, there's no money to take care of them and all of that. We have that baggage. We have people who are living and still in service who are being owed salaries from time to time. They struggle to get their pay. We have infrastructures that need to be built, remodeled. We have our medical doctors everybody's jabbing because the conditions are not favorable for them to stay here and deploy their skills. We have all of those pockets of problem, and you want to compensate people who have served. If you are saying that going forward, we'll make sure that we increase a bit of your pensions so that you're getting something tangible when you finally retire. And it's across organizations, ministries, departments, and agencies. We will applaud you because that's what we've been saying. Somebody who gives 35 years, 20 years, 10 years, no matter how many years, should go back and have something to say, well done, you have done something. And we know that they too are contributing. The contributory pension scheme is also there. But now government is now going to increase maybe like 10% to add to what you're already contributing so that you have something tangible. We would understand. But to say that only this ministry, they are ahead, so based on merit, we know how that merit thing works. We are going to give you a life salaries for the rest of your life. With which money? Make our pause first.
So, this whole thing just reminds me of what they call it, animal farm. That says that some animals are more equal than others. We have seen that some more ministries are more equal than others. Because should tell me the criteria for this policy. Why this Ministry of Interior is more important than the Ministry of Education, the other ministries. Why?
Health
or security or every other thing, or health, right? As in, why are we doing this thing in this climate, in this time? And people were begging different states to increase or pay minimum wage.
Yeah.
We don't even have doctors in the health sectors or nurses. A lot has not been done. You want to give somebody, what's the criteria? You want to give somebody life salary.
They said they want to boost morale.
Okay, so let me take it back. You know, it's different when they say you've served in the ministry and then they pinpoint you or they give an award and say, okay, like this particular person really served or did something fantastic or really exceptional, really created revenue for the country during the time that they were there, and because of that, not the whole Ministry of Interior, but this particular officer would be given this. It's different. Because I know the government gives all these certain noble all these awards that they give, right? That makes sense. But how do you just pick a particular ministry and decide to bless them? Why not?
Father, remember
well, just like Ramfak, I remember when we were discussing when they were talking about increasing the salaries for the presidency, we said, oh, why would Ramfak ask that? Usually there's a time period, you know, that they are able to put their case forward and they're listened to. So maybe the Interior Ministry did this and thought, and the government saw fit, you know, to agree to them.
Did they ask us?
Nima, do you have anything? Initial thoughts on this?
I will answer you now. You know, it's a take time. You know, I don't usually write. All this time you are talking, I'm checking facts.
What are you
Because I don't want anybody to come and say, we did not know what we were saying. I need to wear my glasses.
Jesus.
So, the ministries under the Ministry of Interior are the Fire Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the National Correctional Service, the Nigerian Correctional Service, the NSC, this is the Security and Civil Defense, the NIMC, and all their boards. So there are 6 places. And the people who are going to benefit from it, as this 6 plenty rich, now only the deputy controller and controller.
Source of the 2.
So on a do or die.
Source of the 2.
Source of the 2. On a do or die if I did not get there in service.
And you know, as a lawyer, you're entering management level.
If we did not get there,
so you have to.
Yes, now.
Okay, can we?
So that's the thing. Now, if I'm in service now, with as big as the service is, these agencies, as big as the workforce is across the country, all the prisons, the fire service. My ancestors were, when they entered ministry work, were fire service. My uncle was, I think, the first Nigerian. My dad's uncle, Chief Akokia, was the first Nigerian head of the fire service. So if you pass the Butemeta, that barracks is called Akokia Barracks. That's my family name. So they were in the service, and how much is the money you get the time when they retired? But now, as big as the workforce is, as big as the history of these agencies, now only controller level and deputy controller level and commandant general level, that's why I can make it. I'm gonna make it by force.
Yes.
That's the point. So you have made it less rewarding, less motivating for the larger number to reward only 2 or 1.
Why? Is that how you see it?
That's how I see it.
Okay, what if the thought is, if you know that you get to senior management level, these are the rewards that will come with it. It allows you to stay in your job and walk through the ranks. Because as we know, we've been talking about different ministries, so everybody is just leaving. But we're trying to encourage people to stay or encourage them to join this ministry.
Let me to disagree again. Because now, you know, say now, organo they work. Organo vision in need. The people who are working, rain, sun. I remember my dad's story. Because my dad also trained at the fire service. When Falomo did not have a fire service station, it was an open under tree, like a post. That was when my father was posted there. We come home drenched in the rain. So we're talking about the people who will actually be on the field doing the work. You're saying that those people who will never have an attempt, they will never get the opportunity to see the executive. I mean, the minister, talk less of the president, are the ones who, no matter how much they work, all they need is a 35 years in service, and their salary will be on the minimum wage NLC appeal approach cadre. It's just like the army. When we're talking about the reward for the army and all of that, and I'm thinking the people whose limbs are lost on the field or the battleground field in the Sambisa forest and all of those places, even their insurance, medical insurance, life insurance doesn't look as juicy as this place. You're not making it that instead of just vying and doing the job patriotically, just be targeting up. If you don't make it up, don't work.
On the way.
To be,
it's demoralizing for
Sorry,
people.
Amaka, before you go, because we need
to
to go on a short break.
Okay.
But when we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
It's okay, that's all.
Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still discussing the recently approved life salaries for senior officials of the Interior Ministry. Remember, you can join us on this conversation by calling us on 0201-635-2013 or 09024-163-440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourView on TVC. So just to clarify, the agencies under the Ministry of Interior, we have the National Fire Service, the National Immigration Service, Nigerian Correctional Service, NSCDC, and NIMC. So, sorry, I had mentioned customs. Customs is not part of it. So we're talking about fairness. To be honest, my personal view is that I don't see how this is a fair policy. I don't think this will boost any morale. Instead, it will breed resentment, because there are many people who would say we have spent just as many years or even more than some who have gotten, for whatever reason, gotten to the top. Not everybody is going to get to the top, you understand? But it does not reduce the amount of work that I have put in just because I did not become a senior official. And then to see that there's a select few, it almost seems like you're carving out more privileges for the privilege. You know, already. So that's how I feel. But, you know, but one thing with governance is that sometimes when you're not in these ministries yourself, you're not part of it yourself, you don't understand the nuances and the intricate, you know, that happen in there. Is this something that even the workers are looking to have? They always ask for it, and they're looking to be able to achieve it, you know, when they get to that management level. So I don't know, civil servants, it would be nice to hear you call us and join this conversation and tell us how you feel about this. So when we're saying fairness across board and boosting of morale, or this is just entitlement, how do you see this play out?
Okay, you know, like what Nima said, I don't want to laugh because this is a serious matter. What Nima said about, like, you know, how the guys at the top, oh God, I don't even know why I use that, because they're under the
You people should behave yourselves today.
Amaka knows something she's not sharing.
I'm sorry. Exactly. So Nima said that the people at the guys at the top, that they don't really do that much. They're not in the field, and then they need to have vision. I'm very happy that at least Minima has vision, so she'll get them. But let's get serious now. It's really unfair, where if you noticed, we're all Nigerians, and we know the amount of budgets they are pumping into all these ministries, and we know how most of these ministries even lack the basic equipment that they need to use to even function. We even see that fire service, if something happens, if there's fire, there's no water. Their brain has not even pumped to the fact that they need to, like, open all this, have all this hydras. In Nigeria, we have water. Like, for example, in Lagos, how can they use bucket? So they'll now say they want to go and rush and fill up the tank. When you go to places like China and everything, or the UK, they have hydras where you have to already foresee the problem and have a solution before it happens, where you already know that maybe how many kilometers from every place that there's a hydra, that you know that you found water. If they can dig borehole, you can find a hydra, and then it's closed, so that if there's a problem, there's a fire here now, you know that there's a hydra located some in VI that you can just put the long wire, connect it, and then there's no, we're not even forward thinking, we're not being innovative. Instead, we are thinking of lifetime salaries for people who never even get the salary for the one way that they work now. They never get. The people that have retired from those ministries, they never even get their pensions. You It is so unfair. It is so unjust. And it shows how selfish we are as the people.
Yeah.
Because we until we start thinking of ourselves as the people of Nigeria, that this money, that this government, that everything is about the people and not personal gains. Then, because the people that went to you said something, Miriam, that so they went to go and present their matter, their case. Then their case were heard. If you're really thinking of the people and about the people, you will not present
that kind of case.
And you're not a selfish person. You're not going to present that kind of case. So it bears to mind, what is the mindset of the people leading us? Or what is the mindset of those people that are at the top of these ministries?
Yeah.
If this is their problem right now, instead of being public servants and serving the people, their own is to go and present case of lifetime salaries.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the mindset of the people leading us.
You are right,
I love
Amaka.
how you put that. You know,
very
it
right.
is, what sort of society are we building?
Yeah.
That it seems that only a few privileged will constantly be rewarded for maybe even very little work. And then those at the bottom, we don't find different ways to channel our resources. Like for, if you were approached, were at the table where this matter was brought forward and you had to give advice, you know, what would be the advice, especially if we're talking, let's just look at the fire service. I know you brought some examples, but let's look at the fire service, especially, or is it Nima? Because as Nima said, our ancestors started from there. Like the fire service in our country, it's something that we have constantly spoken about.
Yes.
Yes,
There hasn't been any improvement. In fact, let me give you a story. I saw a video of a lady in the UK. She's like one of their social people. She's constantly on the news. And then they had put up a video of a burning office on the mainland. And this person in Nigeria, in Lagos here, had a bowl of water. So a huge tall building was burning up. And you've seen that video. And then he had a bowl. He was fetching water and pouring it. That is the picture of our fire service across the world.
Yeah.
That's what we have. So when you sit down at a table like this and they come to you for life salaries, what are we expected? Why is it, apart from the ministry that brought the conversation, those who were receiving,
sat on the table.
who were receiving this conversation, what were they thinking?
When they heard the proposal, what did they think? You know, people like me, unfortunately, may not get to such a table. Because from the beginning, you know that there are certain things that I will not take, right? There are certain things that I will see and understand that this is not for the greater good. See, a time will come, and I hope that in Nigeria, that time will come where we become like the United Arab Emirates, where there's money flowing everywhere. Our children can have salaries for life without lifting a finger and all of that. There's also another country that they have so much money. Their people don't even go to other countries. They are, okay. We will get there, right? If we build ourselves, if we put the systems in place, if we use our resources wisely, if we have leaders who are thinking collectively, we will get there. When we get there, and you bring this sort of conversation, let's give these people life. We will understand, because there's milk and honey flowing in the land. But right now, what we should be thinking about is how are we? You have a call?
Yes.
Take a call.
Okay, so we have Ademola from Doha.
Even good self. I bet
Ademola?
That.
Okay, I don't think we have him.
Is she there?
Right.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah. So we're flowing with milk and honey. Everything is working out well. You know, our resources are working. You're seeing it. We have good roads, good hospitals. The basics are covered, you know. People who want to be exceptional are doing their businesses and everything. Everything is well. Then the government can sit down and say, we have excess money. How do we, you know, encourage more people to come into this service? How do we do this for this? How do we do that for that? Okay, we can give life salaries for this ministry. We can give life salary for that. We can appreciate people who have done. See, if they had come to say, the people who have died in battle, for instance, fighting for our country in Nigeria, those ones who, you know, you mentioned they've cut their legs, they've cut their on wheelchairs, they are struggling because they served their nation and we have to give them lifetime salary. I will not say no. We will sign it immediately. But to tell me that in a chalanya in an office in a hollow chandioga na happen on main road. Miriam, you understand? You
no
have
problem.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Put a main road, all sourcing on office na AC. Where
Okay, Oduma, we have Ade on the line. Ade from Atlanta. We have Ade on the line.
Hello.
Good morning, Ade, please. Good morning, Ade.
Yeah, welcome, BC. We really miss you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And good morning, Neema. Good morning, Amaka.
Good morning.
And
Volume.
all right. So real quick, I think what I really don't appreciate is the selective, increment as far as the increment in salaries or whatever they're giving to the retired civil servants. The selective, payment is what I'm really against, because when you look at our police, when you look at our public servants, they're really underpaid. And it's easy for us to actually condemn, especially the police, who are our regular point of encounter. Every time we come encounter with the police, we see the way they always look very unkempt, the way they look tattered. I guess it is because they are not really well paid. An average policeman in Nigeria should not be earning anything less than 200,000 naira, as far as I'm concerned, because these are people that you give the weapons, to. You give a policeman a weapon to go and defend, the people, and the man is hungry. The man has 3 or 4 kids to take care of, and you expect him to give his best, and you expect him not to collect money from the people he's meant to serve. So, in a nutshell, the selective increment is what I'm.
Selective increment. Thank you, Ade.
So as PC was talking, I was just thinking, I reach my turn now, they talk of greater good. If I have been in service and this also I'm 1 rank away from this thing, come and be talking of greater good. All the greater goods, make them serve me first.
If you present it on my table, I will throw it out.
No, now you don't get all this first. Let me get to office. When I don't collect my own, go back. Let's do greater goods. That's what the mentality is. Because I don't understand. I think the Minister for Interior, as much as is my darling, is a performing minister. He doesn't understand these agencies, these 6 agencies, I'll be 5 agencies that we have mentioned in question. He doesn't understand what the problem fully is. Maybe for the Ministry of Interior, maybe for immigration. Maybe for immigration and the NIMC, because his tech field was brought in. But the problem with the Nigerian fire service and the correctional service is one of infrastructure.
It's big.
Miro, I was a little child at the fire barracks as a baby. And I saw my father transcend that service into the NNPC, into mobile. There was a fire in Iba Estate. People who lived in Iba Estate in the 90s will remember this story. It was my best friend's house that caught fire. 1 room. My dad had just come back from Eket, and he brought, and he had fire, because my father quickly responds as his training. He went into he had only the trouser. It was a fireproof trouser. He went into that fire. I remember when he passed, there's an injury on his elbow here because there was a broken door. He had to break into that room. He says, go to the source of the fire. I don't see that training anymore. He went to that room where the fire started, and in that room were toy cars, plastic. He said, if you don't go to the source of fire, this entire building of 6 flats, we are all done. He went to that fire. There was that door knob stabbed him in the arm. He was bleeding when he came out, but you know how he was able to go into that fire? He had a fireproof trouser. He went straight in. Where did he get the trouser? He was using it to train mobile staff on fire saving, fire safety. So infrastructure is the major problem. Their trucks are outdated. Their barracks, the one at Ojo Elegba, is the same barracks from the 1970s.
Not renovated.
Nothing.
Can imagine.
Their motivation at work. So if you were putting this speech and we're seeing new trucks, we're seeing new barracks, we're seeing motivation in service,
and then you add
we're seeing people will leave. I'm looking for tech. I'm jackpotting for these jobs. People are completely demotivated. Nobody wants to do the police work. Nobody wants to do the fire service work. And because we have a problem in those areas. And we're looking at just rewarding.
Yes.
I want to be controlled.
Thank you, Nima. We have a call. Okay, Ademola is back from Doha. Good morning, Ademola. Ademola, you're live. Okay, I think we have lost him. Okay, let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.